A beautiful day here in sunny northern Montana. Out to pick a few pod peas, Oregon sugar pod peas. This one has grown so tall it's above my head. Amazing. And I've picked one side, now I need to go to the other side. And while I'm here, we will take a look at the zucchinis. Some little ones, not quite ready, maybe good for a salad. My cilantro is getting too high. Got a great recipe from a neighbor for cilantro pesto. Cilantro is really good at chelating heavy metals from the body. And I recently picked 2 artichokes from my artichoke plant, which I managed to winter over last year by heavily mulching it from the snow, but it wasn't a terribly bad winter. My black-seeded Simpson lettuce is growing faster than we can possibly eat it. All from saved seeds that I've saved for, oh golly, at least 10 years. Same with the zucchini. And I select my seeds from the zucchini that seem to produce the quickest, and I love the silver leaves. So I pick from plants that have these heavily silverated leaves that are so pretty. So have to have a lot of flowers in with my things to eat because we need to feed the soul as well as the lips. And sugar pod peas love to play hide and seek. And we just pick them. Sometimes they try to hide. If I get one that's too far gone, I just go ahead and leave it on. It would be too tough to eat anyway. And then at the end of the season, when they go down and we pull the plants, I pick the pods off, and by then they've browned up and hardened off, and those become the seeds for the next year. These are Shirley poppies, and they surely are pretty. Also known as bread poppies. They're just, when the pods dry out, they are just full of black bread poppy seeds. You can literally make them to make poppy cakes. Oh, here's some nasty little creatures that we don't like. These are a soft-bodied beetle that are especially attracted to yellow flowers. So they're all over the calendula. And the best way to go after these little guys is to bring a little bucket of warm soapy water and just tap the flower and dump their little bodies in the warm soapy water for a warm soapy bath. They don't swim very well, and that gets rid of them. These are click beetles, and they are actually poisonous to birds, which I found out the hard way. And so the birds don't eat them. I don't give them to my chickens, and the wild birds just avoid them like the plague. But they do eat flowers. They really can do quite a bit of damage. They're not good for much of anything. This is an absolutely gorgeous Shirley poppy. And my cosmos, I have a row of cosmos behind the peas. So when the peas are gone, the cosmos will take over and not leave my fence just an ugly fence. Fences are necessary, but they're not pretty. And have you ever noticed that when you play hide and seek with peas. When you catch them, they squeal or squeak, as the case might be. These are so delicious in salads. Last night we had them lightly steamed with some butter. Absolutely delicious. Another poppy. These come in almost every color. These are the pods that they make, and when these pods get dry, these little crowns here pop up, leaving little holes around the edge. And then you can shake them upside down into a container. Make sure they're good and dry so they don't mold, and they will keep for years as bread poppies. Delicious. My dill is high. I'm not growing any cucumbers this year, so I just pick a few leaves in order to put them on a salad. These are, they just look like plain daisies, but these are chamomile flowers, and we pick them when they get pretty prolific, and I dry them on a cookie sheet in the house. I don't put them in a food dryer because with the wind that generated by the fan and the food dryer, they have a tendency to blow around, so I just dry them naturally. Again, more Shirley poppies. Look at the colors. This is a salmon, a light lavender, a dark lavender or purple. I've got herbs here that are taller than I am. This is a French tarragon. My spinach finally went, as they say, gone by, and I'm letting it go to seed. All these little teeny seeds here will eventually turn very, very brown, and that again I save and becomes next year's crop of seeds. And more poppies, garlics. These are a walking onion, or known as an Egyptian walking onion or a top set onion. You can eat the tops or plant the tops. We've got a nice row, 2 rows of celery here. That is going to produce a lot of celery. When it's harvested, it gets chopped up. It doesn't last as long as the sprayed bought variety. It doesn't last long in the refrigerator, I mean, but most celery is used in cooking, and so when you chop it up, put it in baggies and freeze it, it's actually quite lasting. My lettuce here is going to seed. A row of onions coming on, copra onions, a whole bunch of garlic intermixed with more poppies, even more lettuce. I actually don't plant my lettuce. It's the funniest thing. When you collect seeds, you don't get them all. And because you don't get them all, some of them fall on the ground, they winter over, they come up in the spring, and I just transplant them into places where they are out of the way. This is a beautiful hops vine. I don't make beer with hops, but I guess you could. The flowers are real delicate. Hops is also an herb. I'm not quite sure, I don't remember what it's used for, but has some herbal health benefits. There's a lot of sage and thyme and a young row of peppers here. Cabbage is not doing terribly well this year, but carrots, it's a wide row. Again, these are from seeds I saved myself. And 3 rows of potatoes. And I have another 4 rows of reds that are almost waist high. So that's a view of the garden.